And welcome back to the show. Exhale to Inhale is a not-for-profit organization that's empowering those who've been affected by domestic violence and sexual assault to actually transform their lives through the healing power of yoga. Now, joining us to share a little bit more details, we've got the executive director of Exhale to Inhale. We've got Maggie LaRocca. And Maggie, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here to share a little bit more about our mission and work.
Well, Maggie, give me a little insight here because you're using yoga as a form of healing for your survivors.
So in 2003, Exhale to Inhale was founded to really meet an unmet need within the scope of services that are provided for survivors of domestic and sexual violence. A lot of time you'll hear about financial resources, childcare, and legal support, which is absolutely needed. And we really wanted to support shelters, nonprofits, rape crisis centers by offering this form of self-care. And it really makes a lot of sense survivors to have a way to reconnect with their bodies, to empower themselves, to find the inherent strength after that's potentially been taken away through various acts of violence.
And when we talk about empowering survivors, obviously that's the mission that you want to be able to do. And talk to me about what that means to be able to empower a survivor.
What we're really hoping to do through empowerment is give a survivor back that choice, the choice making that they may have had taken away through various acts of violence. So we hope that through trauma-informed yoga, one can find strength in their body, they can be connected back to their breath, and that is a tool that they can use outside the yoga class, outside the shelter partner, that they can carry on in life. So many of us through COVID-19 have seen that we really need different ways of taking care of ourselves. It's not always possible to go in and see a therapist. It's not always possible to go get some of those services. So yoga really helps survivors find that strength and make steps. And what we've seen is that survivors often go on to become yoga teachers, or they come back and they're able to be a voice to other survivors. And this really is a tool that anyone can do. They can do it in their homes. They can do it sitting at their desk. So it's very accessible, whereas a lot of healing resources are not. We also want to highlight that healing is a lifetime journey for survivors of domestic and sexual violence. It's not something that's just over. And yoga is a lifelong tool that you can carry with you and use as a way to connect back to yourself and again find that strength.
For yourself, give me a little bit of insight into this because when we talk about yoga and we talk about the fact that it's helping those who are dealing with sexual assault, I know that stress is a major component in this, right? And can you give us a little insight as to the stress that people have when it comes to dealing with the issue of, domestic violence and sexual assault?
Absolutely, and that's right on point. Stress is key. It affects every aspect of life, whether you're returning to the workforce or you're interacting with your children or you're just trying to establish new social relationships. So stress is ongoing, and it's one of the key indicators that we measure as an organization. We partnered with the New School for Psychology to really show the impact of trauma-informed yoga, which is a type of yoga that looks a bit different. So for example, we leave the lights on in the classroom. There's not music playing. We use very accessible language. So for many of those that we support, it might be their first entree into yoga. They may not be familiar with it, and they may have some barriers to accessing it. So we really try to make it accessible and provide a supportive community. Exhale to Inhale is more than just yoga classes. We really are establishing a safe community for healing where individuals are recognized, accepted, and have an opportunity to connect with others in a trauma-informed way. And a lot of times trauma-informed can be a buzzword, but what it really means is being people-informed, really understanding and meeting a person where they are in their recovery, in their life, and trying to reflect your approach For us, that's through yoga, but we also partner with the New York City Mayor's Office to end gender based violence with our trauma informed yoga training program, where wellness professionals are actually using this to support some of their outreach and the work that they're doing in the shelter environment. So we find that trauma informed yoga is not just for yoga teachers, it's not just for a person that looks a certain way, it really is a tool that all of us can access.
For yourself, you've been doing this work for a minute now. Talk to us about what you feel the impact is by having this resource available to a very needy and deserving population.
Yeah, thank you for a great question. I think the biggest piece is accessibility. A lot of times, healing resources, whether it's therapy, support, fitness, wellness, self-care, they're only access is only for some. Why I'm really drawn to this work is because it's accessible. Anyone can do it. There's not barriers. It's low cost. Because of COVID-19, we've been able to also provide our classes online. So if childcare is an issue, if you're concerned about trying yoga out for the first time and worry that you might not be able to do certain things, it really is a way that we can reach those that might not otherwise have seen themselves in mental health care, in self-care. And that really for me is the draw. It's what drives me every day, is really trying to ensure that every survivor of domestic and sexual violence has the chance to heal and that they have accessible healing resources that they can use for a lifetime.
And I know that there's an annual gala, and talk to us about the annual gala and the impact there.
Yes, yes. So the work that we do can sometimes be quite heavy, and we also like to celebrate our the survivors that we have the opportunity to work with and that are part of our community. Truly inspire us. And in fact, our theme this year is a year of inspiring growth. And a lot of times that growth is 2 steps forward, a step backward, and then maybe 3 steps forward. So we know that it's not linear. And at this year's fourth annual celebration of healing, a year of inspiring growth, we are going to celebrate our community. We're going to celebrate the inspiring growth that we see amongst our community members, and we'll have a chance to highlight some members of our community as well. We'll be celebrating and honoring Anna Pincus with a Voice of Courage. She is a filmmaker. She's the founder of the Acalinda Women's Foundation, and she is an activist for women. We'll also be celebrating Diane Bondi. Diane is a leader within the accessible yoga space, and we'll be recognizing her with the Hope and Action Award. And finally, we will be celebrating Flamingo, which is a corporate sponsor of ours. They've truly been with us from the beginning. We're a bit of a new organization, so they believed in our mission. They dedicate a portion of their sales to ensuring that women have healthy relationships with their body. And so we can't wait to do this. We will be celebrating during National Domestic Violence Month, October 19th at the Rubin Museum of Art in New York City.
And so for people who want to get connected, what's the best thing that they can do?
We'd love for you to come to our website, www.exhaletoinhale.org. You'll see our Gala website page. And also importantly, we love to reach out to your audience. And if there is a potential partner, we have over 50 different partner nonprofit and shelter agencies in New York City and 6 states. We always welcome new partners that want to bring this healing practice into their work. And we also have public classes that are available online. So if you have been impacted by sexual or domestic violence, we invite you to join us on a weekly live Zoom class. And information about those 2 offerings, our training program, as well as the gala, are all on our website.
Maggie, I want to thank you so much for being with us. Great information, and continue the great work of Exhale to Inhale, definitely making a difference. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having us today.
All righty. Well, I want to again reiterate, if you want more information, what we want you to do is go visit the website, and you can do that at exhaletoinhale.org, and then follow them on social media at Exhale to Inhale. Well, we don't want you to go anywhere. We do have more open coming up right after this.